Hey, 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 it's Tia, baby. And I am back with another video. So I purposely did not do a video for two reasons. One, I got lazy. And two, I know yesterday was Selena's birthday, heavenly birthday. However, we all know she was Jehovah's Witness and she didn't celebrate holidays and things. So I felt the need not to, say anything or, wish her a happy birthday because of her beliefs. I know she may have acknowledged that she has acknowledged that her birthday is on April 16th, as I heard her say it in an interview when she was doing that baseball game. But I don't think she actually celebrated it because of her beliefs. So yeah, that's why. But I'm coming with a video because my inner voice kept telling me to put out a video. So I'm gonna do it. I have time. My son is asleep, so I'm like, okay, let me just get it out the way. Not like that, but you know. If you know, you know. So I have a few Selena news. So first, I was sent something from a supporter of an upcoming artist named Gabriella Martinez. I think that's her last name. She's from Texas, I believe, and she's an upcoming artist. She has done a lot of Selena covers, and people have been saying that she sounds like Selena. I'm not going to put her I'm not going to put her covers on the video because of copyright, but you can check her out. It's all over the internet. You can also check her out on Instagram, or just Google her, or even YouTube her. Gabriella Martinez. I think it's Gabriella Martinez. Martin. EZ. I mean, not ES. EZ. I think that's her last name. But when I listened to a few of her Selena covers, she did Camila Flor Selena cover at a festival. She did Dame Un Besos. She did that, and she really sounded like her on that cover, Dame Un Besos. She really sounded like her. It was like a combination of when Selena was a teenager and and her latest voice. She sounds like her there. When she did Come on the Floor, it was like I can hear a hint of Selena here and there. Like if Selena was more mature, like if Selena would have lived longer, she sound like her if she would have been like 40 or 50 or something. Well, she is, you know what I mean. She had a little more mature voice of Selena, even though she's younger. I think she's younger. And then there were parts. Oh, sorry, sleepy. And then there were other parts of Komodo Floor where she sounded like she was like when Selena was a child. So, but I hear Selena in her voice. Now, people say she physically looks like her. Well, if you watch the Dome Un Besos cover, I would say, yeah, I can see Selena in her face a little bit. But at the Komodo Floor performance, I was like, no, I don't see it. But I just hope the industry don't try to make her as a Selena carbon copy, because we don't need that. We only have one Selena. And she said that in an interview that there's only one Selena and, there's only one Gabriella Martinez. And that's true. So I hope she doesn't feed into it. It's a compliment, but just be yourself. I mean, because everybody favors somebody. So it's cool that her voice sounds like her. But I hope she, has her own identity and becomes successful in her own way. But it's cool to pay homage to, the one who started it, and that was Selena. So hey, that's what that is. So on to the next.
For the job that she got.
This is an orientation So Yolanda was moving on.
She was moving on.
So where is the I'm going to kill you because you're firing me when somebody left her a message on her machine? They're saying that she embezzled from Selena's company. There's no way she embezzled from Selena's company because I worked at Selena's company. How does somebody who loves somebody kill them? I just think in this case particularly, they didn't mean to.
Orientation.
So, the main reason why I'm going to make this video is because Yolanda Saliva's family. Now, they did the Dateline documentary, not documentary, interview with Yolanda Salivation last year, I think last year around this time on 2020 or Dateline, you know that something. I don't know what network that was, but and her family was in the interview, and they were going through documents from back then trying to prove her innocence and everything. So they recently came out with a statement, I think right before Yolanda's ineligibility of parole. Well, not ineligibility, but her being declined her parole. Her family, I think that was her niece that stated that Yolanda didn't mean to kill her. They even said went as far as saying that Selena was allegedly aggressive towards her, which may have caused her to pull the trigger. And then they also saying that she didn't mean to do it because she was trying to get out of the industry. She was trying to get out of working for Selena. She had someone called her phone and left a message about a job orientation. So that obviously means that she was trying to get out of working for Selena, and so that proves that she didn't mean to do it. And she as in the niece, stated that why would somebody kill someone that they love? People do it all the time. That's why they say keep your enemies closer. And then also, family be the worst ones to stab you in the back, literally. So what you mean? So I'm gonna break all this down. First, I'm gonna talk about when she said that Selena was allegedly aggressive. Why wouldn't Selena be aggressive? Meaning, why wouldn't she be upset? The lady stole her money. I would be upset. That's the least thing she should be worried about. She stole thousands of dollars from her business. She has a right to be aggressive. She has a right to be upset. That is money out of her pocket or out of her business. And then that's supposed to be your friend, and you stole from your friend's business to support whatever you got going on. Why wouldn't she be aggressive about that? Aggressive how? Are you saying that she was trying to fight Yolanda? For one, what person wouldn't fight somebody that found out that their friend or their family member stole thousands of dollars from their business? That's a normal reaction. What you mean? What you mean? I could see if she's saying that Selena was aggressive to her for no apparent reason. Selena had a right to be aggressive. You stole from her. You lied to her. Then on top of that, you stole tax documents, stuff that she needs, because if she can't file her taxes on her business, then what's going to happen? She's going to owe money, and if she don't pay it, what's she going to do? She won't go to prison. You can go to prison for tax evasion. So she's trying to make sure she got all her documents so she can keep her business afloat, and so she can pay her taxes and be good. And she can't do that if somebody holding her documents hostage. She has a right to feel all the negative feelings because all the negative things are happening to her by her so-called friend, by someone that so-called loved her. What you mean? Like anything to get in it to justify what she did. That's exactly what her family was doing. Her family, meaning Yolanda's Salvation Army family, was doing. Trying to find every excuse or every justification of Selena's reaction to what she's been told, what she's seen, to justify her pulling the trigger. Make it make sense. She better be glad Selena didn't go upside her head. She better be glad Selena didn't drag her out of that room and beat her you know what. She better be glad she didn't do that. Because I'm sure someone else would have if it happened to them. What you mean? So she had a right to be aggressive. And if she was aggressive, does that give you justification to pull a trigger on her? She didn't have a weapon. Selena didn't have a weapon on her. So what you so threatened of Selena for? When you had a whole gun in your possession. Selena came empty-handed. All she had was a purse. And she didn't have no weapon in her purse. Actually, the weapon that Selena had was her cell phone, which she should have called 911 for backup on that woman that was supposedly being her best friend. Because that is recipe for an arrest, because she stole money, and it's documents proving she stole money. There was checks written with her name on it from Selena's boutiques that she stole money from. What you mean? Come on. She has a right to be aggressive. But that wasn't justification to off her. Come on now. Be real. Be realistic. Stop making excuses for this woman's actions. This woman's actions, meaning Yolanda's Salvation Army's actions. She did it because she wanted to. Because if she didn't mean to do that to her, why even put that device in your hand in the first place? If that GUN was for somebody else, because allegedly she bought that GUN for a person that I guess harassed her when she was in Mexico. She was allegedly RAPE or about to be RAPE, and so she's been paranoid. But she took the gun. She returned the GUN, and then she bought it back. So you changed your mind. For what reason? Then it was allegedly saying that she had the GUN for Dictator, because I guess Dictator was threatening her, or Dictator was allegedly, making her feel uncomfortable. So she had it for him, but she knew that Dictator wasn't coming to the hotel to meet her. So why you have it in your possession? If you did not mean to do that, why did you have it in your possession? You should have left it in your bag, because you knew Dictator wasn't coming, because you only called for Selena. And I don't believe Selena would have, well, she didn't, but I don't think Selena would have involved her father in it, because she wanted to handle it herself. And she still trusts Yolanda enough to give her the things that she needed, which is why she didn't come with any type of backup, which I wish she would have. She was so humble that she didn't really receive herself as a celebrity, or as or have celebrity status, like A-list celebrity status, where she felt the need that she didn't have to walk around with a bodyguard. But she was pretty much there. She was pretty much there. She may have been beat. I don't know. She was more A-list in the Hispanic community back then. Now she's A-list all over worldwide. But back then she was A-list to the Hispanic and community, but maybe a B-list celebrity worldwide. But still, I think she still should have had some type of security with her at all times, because you just never know. And this is a prime example. You don't meet somebody that stole from you at a secluded area. You meet them at a public domain, like a Popeyes, or or a store or something, like, not in no hotel room. No, not in no hotel room. Friend or not, she was not her friend once she found out she stole from her. That was no longer your friend. So she intended, and this is me saying it, Yolanda intended to off Selena, because there was no threatening. There was no reason for her to pull that weapon out on her like that. And then she did it when her back was turned, because she didn't have, she pulled the trigger when her back was turned. So that was your intent to off her. You knew exactly what she was doing. It was no accident. She only claimed it was an accident because she got caught. And she thought that she was going to get off because she said it was an accident. Nah, you meant to do it. Because if you didn't, you shouldn't have had it in your hand in the first place. It's no justification for that. It's no justification for that. She just mad because she knew that this would be the end of her friendship with Selena once Selena got those last few documents that she needed to file for taxes. After that, she knew Selena was done with her, because Selena was already acting indifferent towards her. She didn't have the patience for her no more. She didn't believe half the stuff she was saying to her no more. She wasn't that nice, that pleasant friend to her anymore. She was done. She physically was done with Yolanda, and she saw that, which is why she didn't give her all the documents at that night. Why? Because she knew that if she stalled, she would continue to. She'll try to keep seeing Selena. There'll be a reason for her to keep seeing Selena, and then she'll try to find ways to manipulate her. She knew she could no longer be manipulated by Yolanda's salivation, and that's why she did that. That's why she pulled the trigger, because she knew if I give her those documents, that would be the end of Selena. There would be the end of my access to Selena. And so in her mind, if I can't have her, nobody can. That was her control and obsessive behavior taking over. And that's why she did what she did. So BS to her family for trying to say, oh, Selena was allegedly being aggressive to her, and that's she didn't mean to do it because she had. What does her having someone call her phone and say you gotta come in for orientation got to do with her pulling the trigger? One has nothing to do with the other. She probably had. How do we know that that's a legit job that was calling to call her for an interview or for orientation? That could have been anybody calling her for an alibi. And even still, one don't have nothing to do. If she knew she already knew she was gonna get fired because she stole money. So she had to find a job somewhere or another if she wasn't gonna get caught, if she didn't, off her, she had to find another job somewhere. So, okay, make it make sense. If you know you're going to get fired from a job, you have to apply for another to have a backup plan. And that's what she was doing. But that's still no justification of her offing Selena. She did it because she wanted to. She did it out of panic. She was panicking because she knew that she effed up, and she knew she was going to lose her friend, and she knew she was going to lose all access to Selena. So she was selfish, and she offed her because if she can't be with her, then nobody can be with her. And that's exactly what she did, and she knows that. You don't see Yolanda making any type of request for interviews talking about why her parole got declined, because she know deep down she did it on purpose. Period. And her family needs to understand that your niece, your whoever she is to you, your sister, your niece, your aunt, your great aunt, whatever, intended to kill her so-called friend that she so-called loved. She did it because she was worried that her life would not be the same once Selena moved on with her life. She was selfish. Just admit it. You talking about love people, you don't off somebody you love. Please. If OJ did what he did, I'm sure at one point he loved his wife, but he allegedly, offed her and her side and her side piece. The ones that make those mistakes are be the ones that's the closest to you. That's a dumb thing to say out your mouth. Oh, she couldn't have did that if she loved. Please, you will really, If you lie, you cheat, you kill, you steal. Period. Nobody in this world is above doing the unthinkable. Everybody is capable of it. Because everybody has a breaking point. And I'm not saying that, it's that everybody gonna do it. You gotta have strength and you gotta have God in your life to refrain you from doing those acts. But I wouldn't put it past nobody. I don't care who you are. I'm not putting it past nobody because obviously everybody put it past her and look what she did. So come on now. I wouldn't put it past nobody because everybody has a breaking point. So, like I said, her family just needs to give it a rest and let her be in that dungeon where she belongs and let her live the rest of her life thinking about what she's done. And they need to come to the realization that their family member meant to do what she did and she has to reap the consequences for her actions. Period. And she's saying, the niece saying, she didn't mean to do that. Oh, she didn't do these things because I worked there. What the heck? What that got to do with you working there have to do with anything? You can't see everything that goes on in that boutique because you work there. Are you security? And even if they had security, they didn't see everything. What do you mean? Because by you working there where your aunt worked, then how come you didn't stop her from embezzling money? You don't have eyes behind your head. You working there don't got nothing to do with it because it didn't stop her from stealing. So your point of saying that for what? Because it sounds to me it runs in the family. Because I remember her and the niece in the interview saying, how she loved Selena and how she was close to Selena, but yet also you're defending the person that offed her. The same person that Selena voiced as the person that offed her. She said in her own mouth that Yolanda did it. And you're defending the person that did this to her, the same person that you said you were close to when y'all were all working in the boutique. So it runs in the family. You all betray the ones you so-called love. Period. It runs in the family. Because you fighting hard for this woman that is your aunt. And I can understand loyalty with family. But wrong is wrong. I don't care who it is. I don't care what it is. Wrong is wrong. And I say this about my own family. For instance, if I know that and I'm not saying this is true, but if my brother had a relationship if he was in a relationship with somebody, and I know, and even if I'm not close with the girlfriend or whatever, but she, they've been together for a minute, and I found out that he's being unfaithful to her, I'm not going to sit back and act like support that mess. If I see that red-handed that he's not being faithful to his, wife or girlfriend, I'm going to call it out. I'm like, you wrong for that and you need to fix it. Or I will. That's wrong on all levels. I don't care, brother or not. I'm not going to pretend as if he ain't doing stuff. I'm not going to feed into that. I'm not going to enable that. I'm going to tell him straight up, you need to be honest with your wife, or leave your wife alone, or leave your wife if you're not happy. But you're not going to be fooling around with somebody else behind her back. Period. I'm not going to condone that. Brother, cousin, whoever. I'm not. I'm going to give them a chance to come clean. But if they don't, then I'm going to say something, because I'm like, that's wrong. And me being in a situation similar to that made me feel like that makes me want to be like that even more, because I know how it hurt me. And I know that I would want somebody to be honest with me, friend, family, or of whatever, because it's the right thing to do. And that's what and because of it happened to me before, I'm being a bigger person, and I'm going to let if I find out that my brother or whoever I'm close to is not being right, is not doing right, I'm going to let him or her have it. And I'm going to say, you need to come clean about it. If you don't, I'm going to give you time to. And if you don't, I'm going to say something. Loyalty my ass. And that's what I mean with her, with Yolanda's people. Loyalty my ass. This is another life that she took from this world. And you still being loyal to this woman? You know daggone well she did it. And she meant to do it. Admit it, accept it, and move on from it. Period. Stop trying to make these stupid justifications for her actions. There is no justification. The only justification for her action was that she shouldn't have had it on her. They should have just had that little argument. She should have just took accountability for what she did, gave her the documents, and moved on with her life. And Yolanda and Selena would have still been here today. That's the only justification for that right there. Is her not having that thing on her. There's nothing else that can get around that. She did it. Selena said she did it before she left this world. It's proven that she did it. She even admitted that she did it, but she tried to deflect it by saying it was an accident. There is no accident in that. Period. You shouldn't have had it on you. It was just a casual conversation between two individuals who she had every right to be upset because you stole from her. All she wanted was her documents back so she can file taxes, so she won't get in trouble by Sam. And you didn't like that because you knew that would be the end. So you made a permanent ending by being selfish and ending her life. Make it make sense. No justification. Justice was served. She has to live the rest of her life in prison. Good for her. She did what she did. Now she got to reap what she sowed. Now she got to live her life wondering why she did it. I should never did it. Oh. Okay, well, you did it because you wanted to do it. Because you were selfish. So like I said, there's no justifications. That's with any action. Your action, you create actions because that's the decisions you choose. But whether it's right or wrong, that's the decisions you choose. You have to live with that. If it's a bad decision, you got to live with that and reap the suffer the consequences and learn from it. Same thing if it was a good decision, you still gonna have to deal with the consequences and accept it. I mean, any action is backed up for a choice. You chose it, and that's why you did it. Period. That's with anything. That's with offing someone. That is with cheating. That is with abuse. That is with whatever, flipping somebody off, whatever. That was an action because of a choice that you made, that you chose to do. There is no things. I don't want to say it's a such thing as mistakes. There is a difference between when it comes to negatively doing something to someone, or whether it's permanent or not. That is a choice. That's not a mistake. A mistake is tripping and you accidentally not push, but bumped into somebody. That's a mistake. But if you're choosing, you're psychologically aware of what you're doing, that is not a mistake. That's a choice. Period. She made a choice, not a mistake. It wasn't an accident. You didn't accidentally pick up a weapon, and you didn't accidentally wait till she turned her back, and you didn't accidentally pull the trigger. You chose to do that. It was psychologically planned. And I'm going to say it over and over again. Cheating too. That's a choice. There is no such thing as a mistake. It was a choice. You knew what you were doing. You liked whatever, whether you liked it or not. You did it. You made the decisions that you made. That was a decision. That was a choice. That was not a mistake. No cheating is a mistake. Every cheating is a decision, is a choice. It's not a good choice, but it's a choice. So people need to stop saying, oh, I made a mistake because I did this. Nah, it was a choice. You're just trying to deflect it because you feel bad for either getting caught, or you feel bad because you have conscience and you regret it, but it still was a choice. Own up to it. People don't want, it's hard to take accountability. I know. But that's the biggest thing to do, is take accountability for your actions. Whether you're on one side of the decision or the other side of the decision, you still should hold yourself accountable for something you contribute to, whatever it is. And maybe people will see you in a different light, or see that you are being honest, or genuine. But if you keep playing that victim mess, saying, oh, it was a mistake, oh, I didn't do it, it was this person, or why are they putting it on me when they did it? If you were involved and you had some type of, you knew what was going on, and you had some type of part to play in it, you're just as guilty as they are, and you made that decision. Own it. This is with anything, and I'm being general. But there's neither here, there. That's all I have today. I will come back with another video later. I just wanted to put this out before I forget. And I hope you guys are having an amazing week and a good Easter. If you celebrate Easter, have a happy Easter. Have a happy Palm Sunday. Oh, no, that was last Sunday. Have a happy Easter. And enjoy it with your family. If you don't celebrate it, just have a happy, rest of the week.